Hope you got your seatbelt on. Because brethren, trust me, it's time to buckle up. When I speak about these things, I'm not just, speaking in a place where I'm above you, but I'm speaking from a place where I'm with you. First and foremost, it ain't that much people listening anyway. To the few brothers who are listening, hope you heed these things I'm about to say. Pretty much things that you guys already know. But furthermore, time to buckle up. What do I mean by buckling up? I don't necessarily mean hopping in your car and driving down the street. What I mean is getting your house in order. And every single ramification of the word house. That's what I mean. Physically, get your house clean. Literally, physically, get your house clean. I wasn't being overly spiritual, wasn't being overly esoterical with that one. Spiritually, physically, get your house clean. Make sure your house is maintained in a proper order. Make sure there's no leprosy in your walls of your house. Make sure there's no mold, no mildew, and things like those, because, a lot of the issues that have been pervasive throughout the last 2 years, are actually mold issues. Whether you want to believe it or not, mold can get inside of your lungs, cause, certain illnesses, or what people think are perceived illnesses, but just, physically, keep the dust down, keep your lungs clear, because a clean space, makes for a clear head. It's the reason why most wealthy people, physically wealthy people, they make sure that their house is clean, whether they clean themselves, they have a maid or whatever, so it's definitely a reason why your house should be kept clean. Yeah, so legitimately, keep your house clean. Keep your dust down, as dust can definitely affect you as well. Make sure everything in your environment, your room, your house, your apartment, like whatever you're living in, make sure your front yard's clean, backyard's clean, stuff like that. And these are things that, I'm not just telling you, these are things that I have to live by myself, because sometimes my house ain't all the way clean. So, but I'm definitely, researching. I got a good woman in my life that's, keeping me abreast of these things. And so, we need to make sure ourselves, as physically fit as possible. And that leads me to the next discussion. Make sure your physical house is clean. That means your temple, your body. Make sure that you're eating, the proper foods, whether you're eating meat, whether you're vegetarian, whatever. Make sure your balance is not just in balance, but in harmony with your DNA. Make sure you're eating a Torah-based diet to the best of your ability. Right now, we don't necessarily have our own land as a people, but we still need to be doing the best that we can. Make sure we're eating kosher animals if you are eating animal products. Make sure you're eating, as close to organic as possible, or, close to as conventionally clean as possible during these trying times. Because I'm pretty sure you guys are already aware of, what your diet can definitely have an effect on, the thoughts that you think. Your stomach is literally a second brain. What your stomach tells the body to do is very important. The stomach, definitely plays a huge role. Make sure you're exercising a good amount if that's a way that you keep your health in check. And that leads me to the next one. Make sure you're mentally buckled up, because lo and behold, I was kind of unaware of that. During these last few years, there was a big mental issue thing going on where people are going mentally ill and stuff like that. At first you can laugh at people and be like, they're just crazy, they're just cooped up. But whether it's waves of any form that are being transmitted throughout the ether right now, whatever it is, you need to keep your mental temple in check. And that leads me to the very big one. We need to be spiritually buckled up. Do you hear me? need to be spiritually buckled up, because it's time. Get our house in order, because we understand that it's 2022, and again, no man should be predicting the coming of the Lord. But what you can do is you can predict what they're doing through what they do. And so we understand, just a little bit of numerology real quick. We understand that 22 represents Tammuz. We understand that 23 represents Baal, Molech, or whatever you want to say. And so we understand that 2020, they brought in the worship of Tammuz through what is now called, Krona, which is another name for, demise. And so, you got another 2020 or 22 coming up in the year 2022, which we're in right now. And so, preparing themselves for what they seem, or what they want to call another phase of the New World Order. And so, if we understand these things, not necessarily that we should be fearful, but we should be definitely be prepared. Definitely as a people, definitely as Shemites. Be prepared. We need to be standing guard for one another. Just like, our people who were Spartans, because our people were Spartans, the Spartans were Shemites. The reason why a Spartan went into battle was not to protect his own body, but protect the person right next to him. That's why Spartan lifted his shield. A Spartan's shield was not to protect himself. Just protect the soldier right next to him. Hope you guys understand that. So when you are getting your own mental, your own spiritual state in order by aligning yourself with the law, first and foremost, of the Most High, I'm saying you are becoming a blessing, an assurance to the man right next to you, to your brother right next to you. So your brother should be jumping for joy when you decide to give your life over to the Most High. Your brother should be, lifting up praise towards the Father's name when you decide to start, honoring the law, statutes, and commandments of the Father. Because guess what? You're no longer a threat to his life anymore. If he's in righteousness, you are an assurance upon his life. You are an addition to his life. If you are in your proper state. So when I say buckle up, I mean buckle up, tighten up. Tighten up, shawty, because it's time to get right. As we are in the middle of winter right now, as Shemitic people come into our new year, whether you celebrate in March or May, whichever one, March or April, whichever one, we need to get ready for the coming, kingdom of the Heavenly Father within us. And so we need to get our minds right, get our temples ready for the coming of the bridegroom, which is the Heavenly Father, and go into, union with his laws, statutes, and commandments, with things that he's given us to understand. Because these things definitely set us apart as a nation of people. Because, you can look at all the things that they're doing, all the things that the wicked are planning. You can study that stuff till you blue in the face, bro. And you can study knowledge till you blue in the face, bro. You can study that our people were the ruling class of Europe, study our people were the ruling class of the Americas. You can study all that type of stuff. You can study, ancient mathematics, arithmetic, all that type of stuff till you blue in the face. Which I'm not gonna lie, I have done. But, knowledge does not save your life. Obedience does. And for a long time in the so-called truth, which is just the knowledge, because a lot of people don't actually have the truth, but in the so-called truth, right, what is being pushed around is knowledge and not obedience, and not the redemption of a man's heart through the transformation of the Torah within his life, of the Bible within his life. So as you're getting knowledge, you should also be getting obedience. And that obedience doesn't come from another man. That obedience comes from you as your own set-apart man. Understand the law, statutes, and commandments of the Father within your life and being obedient to it, and then you coming around other men. If the Most High assures you in that way to be around other men who then want to uplift the Heavenly Father's kingdom within inside himself. Because whether you know it or not, your temple is a shrine. And whatever offering that you offer up to the Father within your thoughts is what comes back down to you. So if you're offering up thoughts of sin, deception will come upon your body. But if you're offering up thoughts of praise, healing will come upon your body. So constantly in your shrine, in your temple, of your mind, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual, estate, let all three of them be in unison and offer praise towards the Heavenly Father's name. Let your thoughts always be in the taking care of your body as well, and foremost taking care of your brethren's body. No man can say they love the Father and hate their brother. No man. So that love that you feel for the Father, that wonderful emanation of excellence that you feel when you think about the Father's name, you then take that love and you multiply it into the way that you treat your brethren. I say buckle up, shawty, I mean buckle up. It's time to get right. You know, as we look on the news and we see whatever, you know, new is going on bad with black people, quote unquote black people, right? Or quote unquote anybody, right? It's constant, you know, derogatory embellishments upon the name of our people. And some of it, you know, is definitely warranted, you know, because our people are crazy as hell right now. Furthermore, we need to change that, whether it's just one family, two families, three families. You as brothers right now have the opportunity to make a change within your life. Make this day, right now, the day that you begin to change and move and pattern your life into a life that is pleasing upon the Most High and His Son, which is the Word. Make the Word live within you. Make the Ruach HaKodesh stand firm within you. Keep your mind sharp. Keep your mind at ease. Uplift the covenant that was given to you from the beginning of time. From the beginning. Keep your equilibrium right and keep your balance tight. Shalom.